Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to take a look at the Soulforge and tell you what is going on in there. We're going to take a look at this weekly event troop, the Fireborn Paladin. Right, let's take a look then. Does damage to an enemy boosted by red gems. If my armor is higher, gain a barrier. So damage with a boost and the possibility to get a barrier. Immune to burning and fairy fire. Reduce damage from skulls by 25%. And create a red gem when my turn begins is semi-quasi almost useful. So yeah, damage with a boost. Possibility to get barrier. Red gem when its turn begins. It's alright for that kind of level. So a kind of okay 5 out of 10 for you, matey boys. Not great, but it's not exactly dire either. But yeah, get as many as you need. Grab them to all the way to Mythic if you've got enough glory by just spending the amount required. Anyway, what's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. Right, so you can actually pop into the resources as well and grab some spoils of war. I do like to do that as well. Grab a bunch of them, some lovely event keys, some joyous treasure maps and other stuff. Right, let's pop into the Soulforge then and see what's going on in there. I'm not going to go over all these weapons that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. That'll be in the link in the description below. And Liquid Fire, don't get it from here either. Get it from the Journey event shop. It'll cost you 3 tiers, tiers 1, 2 and 3. Total of 250 gems, much better than spending your hard-earned diamonds. So get that from the event shop. Let's take a look at it though. Does damage to an enemy boosted by red allies and elemental allies. So damage with a boost. Yeah, nothing spectacular, but hey, we're going to get it from the event shop anyway. All these are there all the time. No need to go over them again. Wand of Stars. If you've got the resources, just get it. The best weapon in the game. Create 6 elemental stars, blesses all allies, or create 7 umbral stars and curses all enemies. So 2 really good options there on that. Absolutely essential. Nature's Star. Remove all brown gems, then deal magic-based damage to an enemy, boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Nexus, or if the battle is in Nexus, deal double damage. So, yeah, kind of the anti-Nexus, anti-elemental weapon in a way, because brown tends to be one of the colours they like the most. So by taking all those colours away, you make it harder for them to gain mana, in theory. So quite situational, but yeah, not too bad either. And one of the cheap ones at just 75 diamonds, so always worth picking up. Thorn's Blade does magic-based damage to an enemy, boosted by green and elemental allies. So, yeah, another one that just does damage with a boost, but it does have some cool upgrades like Tangling and Leaf. Leaf is create a Leaf Storm when you create it, and it uses green, so it can self-charge quickly. And Tangling will entangle the first enemy, making it entangled, so you're going to be safe from skull damage. Vulcan's Mace does damage to an enemy boosted by Nexus allies, then create a mix of 6 red and brown gems for each Nexus ally. Now these are good weapons. If in this case you got like an all Nexus team, that's going to create the maximum amount of red and brown, which is going to give you a lot of mana hopefully. And the cool thing about this weapon is you don't often see these where it actually creates the same colour that it needs to get charged, and this one does. It uses brown, so it can actually repeat charge and repeat cast that, which is pretty cool. So I do like that one. Vulcan's Mace. Hoshia's Tome, another really cool weapon. Lots of really good elemental weapons. Explode 4 gems for each blue ally and each elemental ally. So literally that. The more blue and the more elemental allies you've got, the more gems you're going to explode. Absolutely superb stuff. Really good sort of early player game. You can explode an awful lot of gems without being a high level. Very good indeed. And it has some cool upgrades as well, like Tidal and Ice. Very nice. Krista's Scythe. Or Scythe. Stun all enemies and then create 3 elemental stars. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. Stun all enemies is obviously situational depending upon the team you're facing. Important if you need to stun them though, if you're fighting a Queen Bee team and it's one of the only options you've got to sort of stun everybody sort of thing. And the elemental stars can have a habit sometimes of setting the enemy up for some easy mana themselves. But yeah, it's there if you want it. What else we got? Anything else? Further down, Doomed Tanto. Dealing magic plus 4 damage to the last enemy, boosted by brown gems. If they have a doom, deal double damage. There's a 3% chance per tempering level to kill the enemy. So on a low level, pretty much no chance. It's like very unlikely to come in with that just 3% chance. And even with this fully leveled up, you've still only got like a 1 in 3 chance, around about 30% chance to kill the enemy. I don't really like weapons like that. I'm not a fan of them, but again, it is there. But yeah, more collectible for me, that kind of thing. Elemental Fury. Explode! Magic +1 brown gems. Grant a random status effect to all Nexus allies and summon a Nexus troop. So a nice explodey summoning weapon. I always recommend collecting these. So handy to have a summon in a team just so many times for that random event where you just lose a troop you weren't expecting to, or the enemy gets a flying start. Always nice to have that option of bringing in a summon. And is that it? Yes, it is. Right, let's pop over to the troops, see what's going on there. Have a little gander through these summoning stone ones. If you're a newer player, just make sure there's nobody there that you haven't got. And if there's troops you are missing, it's certainly worth a few rolls of the dice on these summoning stones. See if you can pick anybody up. So yeah, some okay ones here. Goblins are always worth picking up. The fact that all of them get an extra turn is cool. Leshy, very cool troop. Entangles all allies and enemies, destroys all green gems. But he's immune to entangle, so it's pretty cool to have him up top. Entangle the enemy and know you're safe from skulls, especially versus skull-based teams. Right, so let's go to the bottom and go up. Who is first? Who's the first mythic? The Onyx Giant. Do like a bit of the Onyx Giant. Really good troop this. Does a decent amount of scatter damage, like double and then some scatter damage. Then convert 8 gems of a chosen colour to Uber Doomskulls. Now the key to this spell is basically, because you got that choice of a chosen colour to Uber Doomskulls, you don't pick the colour that's got the most there. If you do that, it's a complete lottery. You're gonna sometimes set up the enemy for some massive retaliation on those Uber Doomskulls. But if there's 8 or less of one colour, and they align with other stuff to create a 4 match of skulls, then yeah, you can cast that knowing you're guaranteed not only to get that 4 match of skulls, but they're going to be Uber Doom Skulls. It's going to do a lot of damage. You're going to get an extra turn if you're not frozen. And because they're Uber Doom Skulls, they explode in a bigger area as well, which basically means you gain back a lot of mana at the same time. So really do like that spell. It's good. And create 2 Uber Doom Skulls when I take damage. Reduce damage from skulls by 50%. And allied giants gain 2 life. And not a bad set of traits either. So pretty decent there. Faerie Gobmother. Gain an extra turn, standard for goblins, then either create 2 to 3 wish gems, or deal magic +1 damage to all enemies, boosted by wish gems, or give the magic +1 life to all other allies, boosted by wish gems. So, yeah, it's good. I'm not a fan of these ones that have so many different things that it's going to do. It can be really useful sometimes. Sometimes it'll work in your favour. Sometimes it'll just keep on doing the thing you didn't really want it to do. But yeah, can be very good at the same time. 50% chance to convert a yellow gem to a wish gem when my turn begins, and reduce damage from spells by 25% of the best of the traits. But yeah, Faerie Gobmother. Can cause sort of havoc on the defense team as well, by the way. Oh, Ironhawk is here. Very good troop this. One of the first troops you should try and get as a newer player. And 2 of them is actually ideal. Creates 12 Doom Skulls and explodes gems, but it's not really the spell that you're after it's for. It's for this artillery support, dealing 5 damage to all enemies when an ally casts a spell. Combine this with Dust Devil, and you got a really quick team which can just like blast through explore level 1s really, really quickly. And if you've got 2 of them, it's even better, because let me just show it ever so quickly, and then we just go to my collection. Like with 2 of them, you can have a team like Greed, Dust Devil, 2 times Ironhawk. If you didn't have 2 Ironhawks, you have 2 times Dust Devil. What Dust Devil does is deal 5 damage to all enemies. Starts battles with full mana. So you cast that twice, back to back. So you've done 5 damage to all enemies twice, which is obviously 10. But Ironhawk does 5 damage to all enemies when an ally casts a spell. So you've done now, by the time you've done that twice, you've done 20 damage. So the idea with this is, on those super early explore level 1s, when the enemies in Bright Forest, Sinner Mirage, Wild Plains have not got more than 20 life, you cast Dust Devil twice, and basically you win the game, and just go through those battles really quickly. But like I say, with 2 Ironhawks, you can pop a Greed into there as well. And that is really cool because you gain a lot of gold at the same time. And if you've got 3 Ironhawks, you can take it even further. You can just go 3 Ironhawks, 1 Dust Devil, just cast Dust Devil and win on Explore 1 on those super low level kingdoms like Sinner Mirage and Wild Plains. So really good for hunting versus. Don't recommend it for use in Gnomapalooza, because Gnomapalooza you get the Soul Gnome very often, things like that, which has a little bit of extra life, which really slows it down. But Explore level 1s in various kingdoms, this is really quick. You just literally cast Dust Devil and win and repeat, and you can just hunt versus very quickly and easily like that. But not essential, but just better. And like I say, this is a very cool team as well, because you collect regular gold and you do the required damage. That is why Ironhawk is very, 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 very good indeed. Let's go back to the troops. There's Ironhawk, who is next. Death. Sounds scary. Can be if you get a bit of bad luck, but it's just, yeah. Death mark all enemies, then deal scatter damage boosted by its life. So yeah, death mark is good, but there are lots of ways to get immune to the death mark now, or cleanse it off ever so quickly, making his spell basically weaker. And he's immune to poison, disease, lycanthropy and deathmark himself. Does get 50% bonus souls from battle and steals 2 life from the first enemy at the start of each turn. So sounds scary, but is overall not too scary. Right, let's take a quick look at these legendaries. Don't usually say to craft legendaries, save your diamonds for the much harder to get mythics, but let's take a quick look at these anyway. Did look myself a bit of Gloomleaf in the early days of the game. Stealing magic-based armor and 5 attack from all enemies, which is pretty good because you take it from them and add it to your own. And reflect 50% of skull damage is pretty good as well. That's literally firing back 50% of the skull damage you received back at them, which is nice. But the trouble with Gloomleaf is it's kind of a 1 or 2 cast wonder at best sometimes. Once you've stolen that armor, or they haven't got any, then all the spell is to just take 5 attack from all enemies, which is not that great. Who's next? Captain McCaw. Pretty decent. All rogue allies start with 50% mana and deal magic-based damage to an enemy. And if they are submerged, kill them. Otherwise, submerge them. So if you can cast this twice, you can get a kill. But if they're submerged already, this is like an instant kill troop, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I do like me a bit of Captain McCaw when the enemies are submerging themselves, thinking they're being safe for my damage to all, and then I have a load of these instead, or just cast that and just kill them anyway. Fun times. Who do we have next? We have Tuesday. Give magic +1 life to all allies, then create 9 yellow gems boosted by enchanted allies. So some life-giving abilities, some yellow gems. Obviously she doesn't use yellow herself, so you're going to have a couple of troops in your team which use yellow to make the most of that. And 30% chance to enchant a random ally when an ally casts a spell is one of the okay traits. Mana Shield is pretty useful as well, as is Spell Armor. So her traits are pretty... She's kind of like... The spell all looks a bit averagey sort of thing. And the traits kind of make up for it a bit, because they are a decent set of traits, as to be said. Grim Feather. He has feathers and they are grim. Does magic +3 true damage to the first 2 enemies, then eliminates 7 attack from them. If an enemy dies, create 10 purple gems. And it uses purple itself, so it can self-charge. So pretty decent. Do like that true damage on the first 2 enemies. So even if the second one is stealthy, for example, you're still going to hit them, which is nice. And a set of traits, which is nothing too great. And that is it. So who gets my mythic of the month? Well, this is not so much who's the most damaging mythic, because like the Onyx Giant is actually very, very good, and do love that. But it's who the most important troop, and the most important troop here by some distance is actually Ironhawk. So good during the Vault event, and very, very important. And if you can get 2 of these, totally recommend it. Just blitz through Explore 1s when you're trying to find some verses. Ironhawk, absolutely essential to get today, simply because of that artillery support and its handiness during the Vault event. Whatever it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, found it useful or helpful, be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. Most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again next time. Bye for now. I'm back later with my journey event team and mini guide and stuff like that. It's Manic Monday. It's all going on.